Having a car payment sucks, right, people? It can definitely cripple your monthly payments. And some people out there, they're paying more for the car than they are the rent or the mortgage. I get it though. We all want a brand new shiny car, maybe just to show off to people that don't really like us. But what happens when that honeymoon period wears off? What happens when the brutal reality of your monthly payment for the next 4 or 5 years hits you like a ton of bricks? So in today's video, I'm going to show you why I am not paying for my crippling BMW car finance loan.
I'm the terror in the system, the one you fear. When I step in the game, you know it's clear.
So this is my BMW 128 Ti. I've had this for around about 15 months now. A nice twin turbo exhaust on the back. We've got the red sports trim, we've got the Ti at the bottom, we've got the beautiful red calipers, brake calipers. We've got the nice red air vents at the front, the racing air vents. Look at those beautiful red leather seats and red interior. And you know what? You'll never find any McDonald's wrappers in my car, people. The loan amount was just, 25,412. And I think the APR might have been a little bit high. My credit rating was good, but it wasn't excellent. So maybe that's why the APR was a little bit higher than usual. It's over 4 years, and the actual monthly payment, as you can see, is, it's £551 a month. So the total amount payable over the course of the loan is at 28,214. So that interest is not too bad over the course of 4 years. So I'm really good to you people. So I put this slide together to show you the total income from my company and the mileage that I can claim back to contribute towards the running costs. So you can see that my company pay me per year £7,020. That's £585 a month. But God bless the government, because it goes into my pay packet, I have to pay tax on this. So it's roughly, I come out with £4,212 a month, which goes towards the car finance. And yeah, that doesn't cover it per month. But the first 10,000 miles that I drive, I can claim 45 pence back from the UK government, tax-free. And then for anything over 10,000 miles, it's 25 pence a mile. And I've based this calculation on the fact that I would drive around about 20,000 miles per year for business and for personal use. So the total income that I receive per year is 11,212, which is it's £935 a month. So the cost of the finance is £550 a month, which is like £6,600 a year. My insurance is £816 a year, that's with 9 years no claims bonus. The road tax is £204. The MOT and the service is roughly £410 a year. But just be aware, this is servicing that's done through an independent dealer and not through BMW. If it was through BMW, you could probably double that yearly cost. The fuel, I have to pay for the fuel every month out of my own salary, but I'm able to claim it back, as I said in the previous slide. So that the total fuel out of my bank account is about £2,888 a year. So for me, the total running costs, everything that I have to pay out of my own salary and bank account, is like £11,000 a year, which is £909 a month. So I pretty much break even in terms of what I receive and what I spend. So it's paying for my business use and pretty much most of my personal use as well. And the one thing that I've not included in this is tyres, because I've got very good quality tyres on my car, and I am touchwood hoping that I don't need to replace them. But if I do, you could add an extra £500 on there for a set of new tyres over the course of a four-year PCP contract. So I've just put this out there just to make you aware of the true running cost. Right then, so you've taken a car loan payment on. Now what? Well, if you take into consideration other essential outgoings for your life, I think you need to really look at the figures before you take a car payment on. And I've made some very, very conservative assumptions here. So if I had the same car, obviously I probably would drive less miles because I wouldn't be using it for business. And I probably would pay a little bit less on the PCP because I wouldn't have as many miles on the car, and it would be worth more at the end of the 4 years. So I've done a rough estimate here. So the car running cost would still be about £700 a month in total. Assuming that you would live alone, or renting or with a mortgage, including the house insurance, you're looking about £1,100 per month. Very basic food to eat, £300 a month. Your energy and your council tax, £250 a month. Mobile phones, internet, and gym. Assuming you go to the gym, you're looking minimum £150 a month. So your total living costs, including the car, are roughly 2,500. So it's definitely worth considering whether you can afford an auto car loan. And this is just on a car that's worth about £25,000 or £28,500, including the interest on the finance. So in the UK, you would need to be earning around about £43,000 per year to be able to afford your life, the basic necessities, and the auto car finance. So I've done a very nice job for you here. I've looked on the UK salary tax calculator just to find out what salary would bring in that £2,500 a month. I've made an assumption you're going to be paying about 4 or 5% on a personal pension. I've assumed you've got 2 student loan payments, one for your undergraduate and maybe one for your master's degree. I mean, if you don't have student finance, then yeah, you could easily afford the car. But I'm assuming that most people have an education. They've got crippling student loan finance as well. So as you can see at the bottom on the right-hand side, if you was on a salary of £43,000 a year, you would bring home about 2,538. So yeah, that would cover you for the car loan, and your essential outgoings, but wouldn't leave any money for anything else. So, what about your clothes, your holidays, and what about savings? If you're looking to get a mortgage, then how could you save any money? So I think the only solution to this is really to either not have the car or have a much cheaper car, or, I think people that live with other people and they're sharing the cost of life, like the rent, etc. Yeah, then you could probably have the car loan. But if you want to live on your own, then, this is the level of salary that you would actually need to achieve. And I'm not sure what the average UK salary is at the moment, but, I think it probably is about 35, 37K. So, if you're on that average salary, then you definitely could not afford to have that car loan unless you were living with other people or maybe living with your parents. So the big question for me is, would I take this car finance on if it wasn't for the fact my company were paying for it? Well, I think yes, purely because I don't have children. So I think I deserve to have a nice car in life, or I just want to have a nice car in life. It does make me feel good, but I would only take it on if I was earning a minimum of £55,000 a year, which I do. I earn more than £55,000 a year, so I could quite comfortably afford this. There has been some negative aspects of this because I'm going through a mortgage process at the moment, and some of the big banks wouldn't give me the mortgage purely because I failed the affordability test because I took on the big car loan. It wasn't a massive issue purely because I worked with a mortgage broker and I got a good deal with a building society. So although it was a negative aspect originally, when I worked with somebody to work around it, I actually got approved for a mortgage. So it's not the end of the world taking a big car loan payment on. It just can cause you problems if you're looking to buy a bigger purchase like a house or an apartment. So it's just something to take into consideration if you're wanting to take a car loan on. And yeah, I get it. This is all tied to my job. So what would happen if I lost my job tomorrow? Well, I would be fucked, basically. I don't plan on losing my job anytime soon. I'm doing really well at work. I've only been there for 6 months. I passed my probation period. So unless the shit hit the fan, which it won't, I don't think there's any risk of me losing my job and then having to pay that £900 a month out of my own pocket. So that's not a problem, and I won't worry about that. And I don't know whether you know, but after 2 years in the UK with car finance, once you've crossed the halfway point of the finance agreement, and as long as there's no damage to the car, you can hand it back without any penalty. Well, as long as you've got no excess mileage on there, but you can still hand the car back, because I've done that before. So as long as you've had the car for over like 2 years of a 4-year contract, you can always give it back if it becomes too unaffordable for you. So there you have it, people. They're the costs of running the car. I just wanted to make this video just so you're aware of everything and you don't go out there and make a stupid mistake. So be aware of auto car loans because they could really piss you off for your finances. So I'll see you next time.
I'm the terror in the system, the one you fear. When I step in the game, you know it's clear.